All right, guys, welcome to the live stream, the Thanksgiving edition, I guess, day after, Black Friday edition. So today we're going to be turning a pen. I had that blank that we cast sponge in. It wasn't last time, it was I think 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to see how that turned. I didn't want to just put that up in my store and not know how it was going to work out. So I thought we could turn that today. It'll be kind of a quick one. I'm kind of Black Friday and this whole like Thanksgiving weekend thing is usually pretty hectic for people in the States. And so I thought we'd do something kind of quick today, but also useful so we can kind of see how that turns out. So let me switch camera views real quick here and show you the blank. It doesn't look like much. You can't really see a whole lot going on. I cut off the sponge, but basically this was one of the things that Frank sent in. I think this is sponge. It's like a natural sponge. So we just kind of jammed in a few chunks of it. Hopefully I don't know which part of the blank. I'm going to be turning a Sierra blank. So I'm not sure if we got a lot of sponge, but I think both sides of the blank had, a good amount in there. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing today. It should be kind of fun, I think. I'm going to have fun. I hope you guys do too. Whoops, wrong one. So I hope everybody had a very happy Thanksgiving if you celebrated or you're in the States. If you're not, celebrating or in the States, I hope you had a good Thursday yesterday. Is everybody getting some good deals on Black Friday yet? I know that there's lots of people that are, I'm getting my email inbox is just jam-packed full of like, oh, we're having a sale. So hopefully you guys are getting some good sales. And speaking of sales, I have my Beginner's Guide to Resin Casting ebook is on sale 50% off. So I thought that would be kind of a fun one for like this is a good Black Friday deal. I'm going to go get the link to it. I forgot to do that. Hold on real quick. Let me see what I'm doing here. Get the link in the chat if anybody wants to pick it up. So it's only $5. But I thought it'd be pretty cool to do that for Black Friday. That way, if people are thinking about getting into casting, maybe people that are getting set up to do turning or, getting into casting, it'd be a good thing to get half off now. And then hopefully by Christmas, you'll be getting all your casting supplies and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So pretty cool. I think hopefully people will pick up that deal today. And actually it's going today, tomorrow, and through like Monday. So Cyber Monday is included as well. So I don't think this is not loofah. He sent loofah as well. This is sponge, I believe, like a natural sponge. Somebody's mentioned in the thing. So anyway, like I said, I think it's sponge. Frankly, I have no clue what it is. Wait, hold on. David got, wait, hold on. You got the lathe? Hold on a minute. I saw something about a lathe. Was it David got your lathe today? Where is it? David. Yeah, got your lathe. Sweet. Sorry, I couldn't read the thing. Congratulations. I think you're going to have fun turning. What was the other thing? Oh, the other thing I want to mention is Alumilite is having deals today, I guess. I got some kind of a notice. Let me see if their homepage, sorry that the thing bounces. My keyboard and all this stuff is attached to like one of those standing desks, and that camera on the top is also. So I apologize for that. Let's see, Black Friday deals. I don't know what they are though. Anyway, I don't know. They should have some deals going on. I think they had a couple different ones. So I'll just put a link to their homepage. I just saw that. So if you're looking to pick up some resin, Turner's Warehouse is having a bunch of Black Friday deals too. So head over there. But anyway, let's get the lathe fired up. I got to get the camera set up over there and see what's going on. So let me stop real quick. I want to see if anybody mentioned any cool Black Friday deals. I think I might be getting a belt and disc sander machine. I have a benchtop disc sander, and it just doesn't do what I need it to do. I need one of those, is it 4x36, whatever, the big belt sanders. I need one of those things. So anyway, so Daryl, what's up, man? Let's see here. Christina made it. Nice. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We had a great time. We had my wife Gretchen cooked this beautiful spread. It was amazing. It was one of those things where like the entire meal and everything. It was like kind of the perfect Thanksgiving. There wasn't even weird. Usually one of the family members does something, and there's always some weird thing that happens at these events. It just all went smooth. So it was pretty good. One thing we did do today, we went and saw that movie Knives Out. That was really good. I definitely recommend it. If you're into murder mystery type movies, a little bit of comedy in there as well. It was really good. So that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit late today. Yeah, I don't really do a lot of shopping on Black Friday either. You know, the problem that I have with it a lot of times is what I need is not what they're selling. And so what you end up doing is you get all worried like you're missing out on deals, and you end up buying things you didn't even want to buy, and the stuff that you need isn't on sale. So I don't know, that's just kind of how, a lot of times that's how it works for me. So we'll kind of move the camera over here, get things going on the lathe. I haven't turned anything for a while. Been a while. So like I said earlier, we're going to be turning a pen, and I just have this thing set up on I have a Sierra style pen set up. Mainly, I wanted to get this thing turned, and we didn't, you know, I don't need to make a super fancy pen or anything like that. So the Sierra is a good one. Single blank. They look good though. That's why I like Sierras. It's a good, you know, I'm trying to do a test, so I just want to get this thing turned, but you know, they make nice pens. And they're relatively cheap kits. So it's kind of a good one, I find, for testing and stuff. Especially when you don't really know how it's going to turn out necessarily. So Sierra, or they go by lots of names. Wall Street, and I don't even know. Wall Street, Gatsby. I don't know. I think there's other ones as well. So let me get the camera switched for you guys. Switch camera views here to the turning. There we go. And I don't even have my old iPad anymore at all. So I can't really look at stuff, but I can open the YouTube app on my phone. Perhaps. Where is it? There it is, YouTube. So I'll try and get this thing open, and I can kind of stop and look at the comments every once in a while, see what you guys are up to. Okay. Hey, Doug's here. What's happening, man? And Alex is here. Mert's here. Woo! Everybody's here. Let's see here. Ford Ferrari. Yeah, that's probably a good one too. My dad wanted to go see that sometime. Bob, how's it going? Massachusetts. Nice. How's the weather over there? I haven't really looked at I just know that it's snowing here. Snowmageddon. Oh my gosh. Hey, Stewart's here. What's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice. They're having a giveaway too. Sweet. Yeah, go head over to House of Resin. Probably, I'm guessing, .co.uk. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's probably correct. All right. I'll get this thing mounted here. Actually, I'm not going to turn the light on. Get my stubby, I think this is about a 4-inch, is that what this is? 4-inch tool rest, I think. I've got a handy little, I made a mark actually. Can you see that? Let me see here. Yeah, I made a mark on my headstock here so that I can just quickly line up the right height for the EasyWood tools. And so I'm a little bit short, but it just makes things, you can also do like a post collar, you know, on your tool rests. That's not a bad way to go, so you don't have to even worry about it. But I like to get that thing set up, and it seems to work perfectly good for my gouges as well. So it's kind of a simple one. Just use a little Sharpie. Let's see here, let's get this thing. I got to get my tool rest is so long it goes between the legs of the tripod. So, all right, so fire it up, wind out the motor there. I like to use a gouge to knock the corners off and kind of initially rough things out. It just goes faster for me. I'm kind of used to doing it that way. I wasn't going easy on it or anything. Part of the thing that we're trying to do here, what I'm looking at is, a lot of people said, oh, you should have, soaked the sponge stuff in resin before you cast it. Like kind of, I'm guessing basically toss it in the cup, which I didn't do. I just kind of shoved it down in the, and this is a Lumalite clear slow set. So I would tend to agree that that would have been probably a little bit smarter. I'm not even seeing any sponge at all. I'll have to keep going, I guess. If I don't see any sponge in this, I'm gonna pull out the other blank. Oh, did I get it ready yet? I'm gonna have to barrel trim it. But anyway, so we're just trying to see, how does this stuff turn? Is there a bunch of air pockets on the inside? All that kind of stuff. I didn't jam pack the blank full of sponge stuff, so I can't fully. It was a couple of weeks ago at this point. I can't exactly remember what was going on. I'm going to actually stop it and zoom in for you guys so you can kind of see it. At this point, it just looks like a resin blank. I'm not totally like seeing sponge. I don't know if I'd identify it anyway. It just kind of seemed to absorb. Parts of it, were sticking out of the top of the blanket. It just looked like it absorbed it, and it wasn't like identifiably spongy or anything. So maybe there is some in here and I just can't tell the difference. I don't know. Either way, it's looking fine right now. No problems to speak of. And I like to shape with these negative rake carbides. They work really well, but they also ensure that you don't run into any problems. They cut so smoothly in any material that it's kind of hard not to use them, but they're just pretty smooth going when you're turning pens. So I just kind of, like I said, rough it out with the spindle gouge, and then do the shaping with the carbide. Like I said, so far at this point, I'm not even, I wouldn't even know that there was anything in this blank. It just feels like a Lumalite. Let's zoom in again. I don't know, guys. I'm really. I can't identifiably see any sponge in this. So I don't know. I guess we'll keep going, but I'm wondering if there is no sponge in this. I don't know how that's even possible, but it's one of two things. There's either no sponge in this, which means it's obviously going to turn fine, or there is sponge in this and I just can't tell and it's turning fine. So I think we're going to have to pull out the other one and check. I may not go through the polishing on this one, just kind of get it shaped and then switch to the other blank. I did get both parts of I had a full 5-inch long blank ready to go. And so I cut it into 2 Sierra blanks. So like I said, Still turning fine. Kind of, I'm taking it down. I'm trying. A lot of times I'll keep my pens kind of fat, but I'm taking it kind of down to just see if I want to make sure that I see sponge if there is sponge in here. So it's going to be kind of a thinner one. All right, so we're looking pretty good here. I'm going to stop real quick, see what's going on here. Looks like you guys are just having fun. No, and by the way, Peter, it's not the wrong blank. I didn't mix up the blanks. It's just I may have the way I cut it or something. I don't know. The sponge, it's the right blank. I'm just not sure if I'm seeing sponge or not. All right, so I need to take a little bit more off on this end over here to get it down to the bushing. There we go. Now we're looking pretty good. And then I like this R2 cutter for smoothing up, you know, kind of taking that final cut, smoothing everything out. You can get a really nice smooth cut with it. And that way you can start sanding higher. So let's stop this thing. You guys are already pretty zoomed in, I guess. Let me hit this with some light and see if I can see anything going on in here. It'll probably blow you guys out on the camera, but I don't know, man. There is some kind of orange stuff right there in this area. If that's sponge, then I will say that I don't think you really have a whole lot to worry about if you turn these. So at this point, I can't tell. I'm going to take this one off. We're going to get the other one ready. I didn't get it barrel trimmed and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is zoom you guys out a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing over here. I can't bring the camera over there on the live stream because my cord is not long enough, but I'll show you what's going on here with the blank and I'll explain what I'm going to do. So basically we have the tube glued in, but we would need to, you know, get this thing barrel trimmed, but you can see there's a lot of material hanging out there. So I'm going to sand that back. I like to sand as much material as I can off. Sorry about that heater, we still haven't fixed that. But, I'm going to sand off as much material as I can on these ends, then hit it with the barrel trimmer. I just find that it's the best way to go personally for me. So let's get to sanding here. Whoops, I already had glasses on. Dust collectors don't work that well when you don't open the blast gate. Just a pro tip right there for you guys. All right. I was like, what's going on here? So over here I got my barrel trimmer ready. And I just do it by hand. You can use a drill press if you want. I kind of like just using a hand drill. Kind of a little bit more finesse, I would say. And I think I got some glue in there. Yep. So I got this little tool here. Hopefully I'm on camera. And I just scrape the glue out. Reamers would be a good investment. That's not a bad way to go. That would get you a perfect, reaming. So one of these days I might invest in some. But for now, that works just fine. Make sure that works okay. All right, so let's get this thing, ow. Well, that didn't feel good. Pinched my finger, guys. Keep my finger out of the way. Everything should go pretty good. Okay, now what can happen is this little tube part, let me see if I'm on camera. Yeah, the tube can kind of, if you press down hard, it'll kind of be overhanging a little bit. So I actually just kind of scrape that off to make sure that my bushings fit real well. I find that if you're doing between center bushings, those ones are a little bit more accurate and tight. Typically the ones that just go on a mandrel, you usually don't have as many problems with them, which also supports the idea that they're less accurate because they're not really even a tight fit in the tube usually. But whichever way you like going, it's up to you. So let's get this back in here. Let's fire this one up and let's see if there's any difference. Now, if this goes exactly the same way, then like I said, basically I would just say that the sponge soaked up the Alumilite and there's no difference. It's the same material basically. But we'll see. It's my day. I'm fine. Like I said, I didn't make a mistake. This is the right blank. I just don't have a clue where the sponge was. So that's not really, it's not like it's not my day for that. I'm not really happy that I pinched my finger, but it's okay. And my glasses are over here. I got to go get those real quick. Yeah, this is a pretty good day, I would say. Got up, went to breakfast, had a good movie, doing a little turning. I mean, really, not really that bad, honestly. Really can't complain about that. All right, so that was pretty quick. I'm really not going easy on these. I'm really kind of going hard on them. So in general, I would probably advise that you don't go so fast, and all that stuff. But I'm trying to see if there's any issues, so sometimes I go a little hard on these blanks. Yeah, this one feels, I can't tell what's going on. I don't see any. The sponge material is not super identifiable in these, at least not yet. So, and there's no way. I mean, we had enough sponge in these things to, through two blanks. The blank was only 5 inches long, and these blanks are about 2 1/4 each. So, I mean, there's not like a bunch of blank missing because I cut it out. There's just not very identifiable sponge. All right, let's stop and see if we can see any sponge in this one. This is actually comical. All right, so you guys are already zoomed in a little bit. I mean, doesn't feel like sponge. So I'm gonna have to say that I think the sponge basically just absorbed the resin and blended in with, you know, with the rest of it. I don't know what else to, there's no other explanation here. All right, so here's what I have to say about this. Obviously, it works fine. You can use sponge. It ain't gonna hurt anything. What do you guys think? Oh man. The pressure pot fairy took it. I know. Oh man. I don't know what's going on. I know, I need a microscope. Anyway, it's a neat looking blank. So let's finish this one up. I'm only going to do one. They're both these blanks are pretty much the same thing, so I don't think you guys need to sit and watch me sand the other one. So we'll get this one all, you know, shaped up. We'll sand and polish it and see what's going on. Now, another thing to say about that, and I think what I'm going to do is I still have sponge left. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to show you guys what I kind of already showed everybody, but I'm just going to show you guys what this stuff is again. And I can ask Frank exactly what this is, but it's got to be sponge. I mean, I think it's natural sponge. And like I said, I don't think it's not loofah, because he actually sent loofah as well. This is loofah. All right, so that's what loofah looks like. It's a hard material. And he actually, you know, Frank sent that too. But this stuff, I mean, it's like a sponge. I'm pretty sure it's natural sponge. But I'm thinking it just basically absorbed the resin, and there's really just not much structure. It's mostly air, and it kind of turned into resin mostly, I guess. I don't know. So one thing that we'll do though, I got quite a good amount of that sponge left. So I think that one of these days on the stream, we're gonna have to do some more blanks where it's just, we're packing in as much of that sponge as possible and see if we get the same results. You know, like I said, otherwise I don't know how to explain this. So that'll just be the, am I crazy test? I'm sorry guys, I'm just gonna stop and just look over. No, that's I'm just, it's now it's starting to play with my head, like, but it is, I know that's the sponge blank because the other ones were different. We had one with sponge, one with and one with the, what's it called, the, shoot, I always forget, the gum pods. And that, you know, it was obvious which one was which. You could see the gum pods. So just making me question myself, but I know that this is the right blanks. So what's you guys' favorite turkey dinner type, you know, meal type thing? Like, is turkey the good old standby, regular old turkey your favorite? One thing that I want to do one of these years is have a prime rib. I think that would be pretty awesome. I've never done that before. Does anybody do anything kind of weird? Totally different that's not the kind of classical? I bet some people do ham. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Does anybody have any weird family traditions, like, or maybe not like weird, but like kind of, you know, different? Do you go and do something special as a family, or? Back in the day when I was a kid, on Friday, we would always go up to Reno, and it would be this big shopping day, like family shopping day. And I guess, I don't know, back then, I mean, that was like the 80s. And like, I don't really know. I'm sure they had like deals and stuff, but I don't really think Black Friday was as big a deal back then. But one of the traditions that we used to do was we'd all go to a movie. So we'd all kind of split up, go do some shopping in, like, you know, little smaller groups of different family people, and then go out and have some dinner, and then a movie. And it was kind of a fun deal. We don't really do that anymore. All right, so that's looking pretty darn good, and we're pretty even with the bushings. So let me stop and see what you guys, if anybody has any of these fun things. SpongeBob pen blank. I know. Yeah, there are a few things that kind of look like it might be sponge. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Put my hand under there so it's focused. I mean, it kind of does. And there's areas that kind of look orangish, you know, because that sponge was orange, kind of. And I don't think we had anything orange. I don't know. It's tough to tell. These areas kind of look like it. I don't know, though. So let me see. Yeah, dye the sponge. That's not a bad idea at all. I used to have a sea sponge, but it's gone. I don't know. Oh, that's cool, Peter. Whoever's having a traditional turkey. Do you not have a traditional turkey? What did you have this year? I didn't see. Gary made it. Nice. How's it going? No, today's the normal day, so I was actually not bored. I was actually scrambling to get things done before the stream. Nice. Looks like I took a hit of acid. So I'm not seeing any special family traditions. I might stop and see if anybody has any. It's always fun to hear what people do on holidays and stuff. All right, so I'm going to hit this with the R2 scraper. I'm going to zoom you guys out. So, whoa, the wrong way. So you're not so close. And like I said, this isn't necessary. You don't necessarily have to have 50 different tools. The round ones work just fine. You know, you could just turn a pen or whatever, lots of different stuff with just the round tool, but I find that I get a much better, I can get the surface so much smoother with the R2. And so I'd rather have a lot of tools in the quiver and use the one that works the best, personally. All right, so we're slow the speeds down here. Let's get all the junk off. And I'm going to start at 400 grit. I think we're good enough to, should be about smooth enough to get started there. I got the lathe going about 350 right now. So this is everybody's favorite part, I know. Mine too. Back when I used to do, when I was doing the live streams on Twitch, we would do casting on Wednesday and turning, the idea was then we would turn the blanks on Saturdays. So I was streaming 2 days a week, which I can't do anymore, but the turning day was always Saturday, so I always called it Sanding Saturday. Who's ready for Sanding Saturday? All right, so this thing is already looking pretty good. 400 grit. Now, depending on how good the surface is, this one was it was smooth enough off the tool that it was close to where I could have just started wet sanding at 750. You know, and so if you can get it real smooth, I know a lot of people talk about, you know, using a skew chisel. If you're good with a skew and you can get a nice smooth finish on it, or whatever tool, the smoother you can get it, the higher you can start sanding. So that's one of the nice things. And then this is the 750, wet sanding with 750. And so since that sponge soaked up the resin, and like I said, there's no difference. I can't even feel sponge or even see it. I'm gonna just assume that, you know, I don't see any reason to put a finish on top. And it should polish quite well, as you know, exactly the same as just the Alumilite resin. So this will be a pretty simple finish. Just polish it up with the wet sanding papers and then take it over to the buffer. So I gave that a very good sanding with the 750. And then this is the last grit of wet sanding 1150 that I use. And this is the Zona papers. And Chad sells them now over at Turner's Warehouse. So you can get I think he's got the multi-pack of all the flavors, all the grits. But I think he might be getting, what I buy, and I get them on Amazon, is I just buy a whole sheet, because I typically only use these two, 750 and 1150. And maybe one other one, you know, but you can buy a whole pack of 10 sheets of 8.5 by 11 in just 1150 grit or 750. And I'm pretty sure Chad is going to be getting that eventually, because I kind of mentioned how I do it. And he thought that might be something he can pick up and stock. So either way, Amazon or Turner's Warehouse, you can pick up these Zona papers, and I like them. I think that, I mean, they definitely work just as good, if not better in some cases, than micro mesh, and they're cheaper. So now some people may like the pads better, though. You know, the micro mesh things have those kind of little pads. I actually don't like them. I think they're too firm, and I can't really feel what's going on, how much pressure I'm really applying. So I personally like these thin ones, but you know, other people may like the pads better. You could put a little backing pad on these things as well, though, just to kind of mention that. But it may be a little bit of a pain compared to just getting the micro mesh little pad things that come that way. So let's see here. Wrapping paper in the fireplace. Huh. What does it do? Is it bad? I don't know. Kids and grandkids. Nice. Turkey dressing. Till we all passed out. Nice. Deep fried turkey. Yeah. That one's actually getting to the point where it's not really different. A lot of people like that one. It's good too. One year we went down, we have some friends. Actually, it's kind of family, I guess. It's not my family. It's my in-laws. Kind of. I don't know how that works. But they did a deep fried and they did a regular turkey. And man, I got to agree, that deep fried turkey was good. You'd rather have lasagna, huh? Turkey, mashed potatoes, stuff. You know what's, well, we didn't have green bean casserole, but we had green beans. We had mashed potatoes, turkey, and Gretchen made, it was those same people that did that fried turkey. They have this amazing dressing recipe. Oh, man. Yep. So, cool. Oh, sparks. Oh. Ooh, what's, I don't know how to say that. Kolaches? I'm not sure what that is. Maybe I'm thinking of something. I don't know. Kolaches. I'm not sure what that is. Nice. Cool. All right, so where are we at here? I'm going to hit this with a raking light for my benefit so that I can see, you know, what's going on. And I'm looking at it from the front, so the light is coming down, bouncing off, and hitting my eyes. And that way you can see what the scratch pattern looks like. And everything's looking perfectly fine in here. Looks like we got it up to 1150 grit, and everything's good to go. So I'm still not seeing any. I still really don't see any sponge. It's kind of odd. I wonder if it melted it. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it could have melted it? You know, I mean, slow set clear doesn't really get that hot, but this is just kind of odd. I think we're gonna have to do an experiment. I like that idea. We'll dye it, and then the tough thing about dyeing it though is if you dye stabilize it, then that test is gonna kind of go out the window because it's not gonna be the same test. I did not stabilize the stuff that we cast, and stabilizing it will change, you know, the test a little bit. But I think we could maybe, I don't know, what the heck was that? Did you guys see that? That was weird. Camera's doing weird stuff. Oh man. I really don't know what's happening here. Oh, there's the heater again. We really need to fix that heater, guys. Maybe I can get up there and fix it this weekend, because that is really annoying. All right, so we're over the buffing wheels. We're gonna hit it with Tripoli, and then we're gonna hit it with white diamond. But I need to get a mask on, because you don't want to be breathing this junk. So I got a mask over here. Put that on. Get my safety glasses on. And I got a little light, so that's nice. So first wheel is Tripoli. It's going a little fast. I was doing something different with it. I like to run it at about 1,000 RPMs or so for pens and stuff. Did you guys see Jake's video on polishing resin blanks? It was a good one. So if you missed it, make sure to head over to his channel. That heater's getting worse. All right. Give it a little bit more time on the top. All right, and then we'll do some white diamond for the final touch. I don't use wax. I don't really find polishing with wax to be very useful on most resin turnings. I guess any turning, especially for pens. The problem is the oils in your fingers are gonna break down the waxes and just dull it really quick. So for pieces that are gonna be handled a lot, I don't really recommend waxing them. This is the Beal 3-on system, and the third wheel is a wax wheel, but like I said, I just took it off to give me some more room in between these two. because two reasons. The wax, I don't like having that on the surface of it because it tends to break down, and you know, like I said, for pens especially, you're gonna get, it's gonna dull them really fast just because of the oils and the wax dulling. But the other problem is there's really no difference visibly between the scratch pattern from white diamond to wax. So why do another step? You know? So I've taken it off. I didn't find that I got any different results using the wax wheel, so like I said, what's the point? Some people may claim that they like it, that's fine, but, and I'm not knocking it. If you think it's better, then, you know, definitely do it, but if you're really not seeing any different results, then what's the point? So, let's get under a light so you guys can kind of see what this is looking like, and then we'll assemble this guy. Oh, my tripod's not working here. Kind of angle that down a little bit. What is going on with this stupid thing? Okay. Keep hitting buttons. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Try and get it where it's not so shiny, but it's tough to get it where it's not shiny because it's so shiny. See now, like there, right up in the top here, that looks like sponge kind of to me. I don't know. It definitely doesn't look bad. It's a cool looking pen. I don't know. We'll have to do a test. We'll have to do a test and see exactly what's going on. So my desk over there is kind of cluttered. So I think we're going to do this is a pretty simple press. So I'm just going to kind of get things set up over here. The Sierras are just one, actually I got to go pull a kit out even. Sierras are just one thing that you actually even have to press down. So they're pretty simple. Just looking to see which ones I got. Yeah, so we'll just do a regular Sierra ballpoint pen. It's a twist pen. I'm gonna go get some. I like to wear gloves. I don't like touching the blank with my fingers while I'm assembling. I'd rather just keep all those finger oils off of it or anything else. I was grabbing those buffing rouges and all that stuff, so keeps things. I know, camera gremlins, I'm telling you. They were coming for me. All right, so the way this works, if you're not familiar with the Sierra kit, basically you got your ink. I put my spring on, and that just drops down into the transmission there, and then the nib part twists onto there. And so that's basically one part. You can test to see if your ink twists out, everything's good. I'm gonna set that aside, and then the only part that you actually press onto a Sierra, makes it really easy, is just the clip, the end part. So I'm gonna kind of look at this, see if there's any direction that I like the most. I kind of like this, so I'm gonna try and get behind the camera, show you guys why I like this. So there's kind of a little sweepy thing of resin. I just kind of like that on the top, kind of poking out from the clip. Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of put that on that side, and I'm actually looking at this, and I could probably just press this by hand almost. I almost got it all the way in by hand, so it's just gonna take one quick little thing. Now you could also, if your parts are really loose, you might need to put CA glue in there. Just put a little dab of it. Gotta get this thing the right height though. I think this one's all right, but there we go. Just hammer it home. And then, let me see make sure I'm on camera here. Then you just put all the rest of the nib parts together, press it on by hand, and you're done. So let's get the camera back over. Sorry, you guys we're gonna go on a tour here. There we go. Hope nobody got seasick there. And then we'll just drop this down, and I'm gonna, there we go. So I got really good lighting over here. I can see everything that's going on. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's a pretty cool looking pen. Like I said, I don't know what happened with the sponge. I mean, it seemed fine. It just kind of disappeared on me. I don't know. And I don't know if it literally vanished or if it just blended in. But we'll have to do a little bit more testing. See, I got a pretty good bag of it, so maybe next time we'll do a little bit of casting with that stuff and get some blanks where we can actually see what's going on. I think it would be best to do transparent resin around it as well. That way we can see exactly what's going on with that thing. But let's see here. Back to the intro view. Oh, it's up kind of high. So let's see here. Kim's here. How's it going? Happy Thanksgiving. Let's see here. Looks like you guys are just having some fun. Sierra's your favorite. Yeah, I like Sierra's a lot. So back in the day, I was trying to sell pens at some point, which I was never very good at it, just to let you know. But and really what I wanted to do was just get, and it hasn't changed, this philosophy. For the most part, I use Sierras, I use cigars, and then the junior line. And then also, I have a few other random ones, but for the most part, those three types, the junior, gent or junior Aaron, or, like the ones that all use the same 12.5 millimeter and 10.5 millimeter bit, and then the same bushings. You got a wide variety of kits that you can choose from, different platings and totally different styles. But you're using all the same tubes, number one. That way you can get like the nickel plated tubes, which are available, nickel and powder coated, as well as it's the same drill bits, and everything's the same, the bushings. So I really like the juniors. The same with the cigars. There's a lot of different platings you can get. Pretty simple one to put together, and they look pretty good. And then the Sierras are kind of like the cheaper ones, single blank, but a really nice pen. And so, but lots of different options. So I just kind of went with that. That's why I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with these three, and it works. And then even now, now that I don't really try to sell pens too much, although we did just add some to my website. She's going to be kind of running the store. We added them to my website, but most of what I'm doing is testing and stuff. It's not, I don't take orders for pens or anything like that. And so the philosophy still stands. Like, I'd rather not have to, figure out the different drill bits and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so that's my little philosophy. Give me as many options as possible, as long as I can use the same tools for the most part, and then it makes it easier. So anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. That's probably, that's all we got today, basically. It was a pretty quick one. We actually turned 2 pens, sorta. We didn't sand the other one, but we turned 2 pens, and I guess the tests went good. I don't know. It's still kind of question mark, up in the air. We're gonna have to do a little bit more testing with that sponge to see what happens. So again, don't forget, guys, and I'll put a link here. Don't forget, it's Black Friday, and I got 50% off on the Beginner's Guide to Resin Casting. So head over to my website. That deal is good today through Monday. And let's see here, Alumilite's having some sort of a discount. I just want to let you guys know about that. I know Turner's Warehouse is having some sales, so you might head over there or check out, his Chad's or Turner's Warehouse's Instagram and Facebook. I couldn't get it out. Same with Alumilite, and I'm trying to think if there was anything else that is a good deal that I can share with you guys. I don't know. Just keep your eyes peeled. Pretty much everyone's having deals today, so go and see if you need to stock up on anything. Go get a deal, I guess. But other than that, I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Hopefully you got lots of families, but everybody in the States is, we got Thanksgiving kind of going on. So hopefully you guys are kind of hanging out with family, having some fun with friends, eating well, and getting some fun stuff done in your shop. So this Sunday I will have a video out. I actually went a different direction. So I've been talking about that saw blade clock, which I just am going to be finishing that one up actually this weekend, like the shooting of it. But I have another video that just kind of randomly happened, and I was able to get that one done quick. So we'll have a new video on Sunday that might be worth checking out. So head over to my YouTube. Well, you guys are on my YouTube channel, I guess, but head over there on Sunday to check out the new video. And yeah, so I hope you guys again had a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys all on next Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll do another live stream. So have a great night, guys, and I'll see you Friday.